This is huge for the Toronto Maple Leafs as they won against the Buffalo Sabres in a game that started off very slow. Dennis Hildeby looked extremely shaky. And then in the blink of an eye, if you went and you made dinner, washed your dishes, whatever you were doing, and you came back, the Leafs scored a ton of goals back to back to back. They went crazy. And there's a lot to discuss in this game. We saw Nick Robertson finally have a decent showing for the first time all season. Max Domi got on the board. Darius' jersey is not cursed. It's great vibes today. And not only that, it's an early game. So I guess for East Coast people, it's 7:50-ish, approaching 8 o'clock. So it's an early game Sunday. If you're a football fan, you can watch football, whatever you want to do. The Leafs have won yet again. Well, not yet again. I was obviously here solo for the Detroit Red Wings game. But Darius, welcome back. Of course, what's up, Jose, Shane, Duster, everybody, Chase, Marshall, Jim. Very big game. They need to build off of it, like Jordan says. And ultimately, a huge win for the team.
Yeah, they did a lot of good things tonight that I liked. After the first 10 minutes of the game, I'd say. The first 10 minutes, I was like, oh, here we go again. A lot of the same from last night because I saw a bit of the game last night and it was terrible, but good bounce back win, good performance. I thought Hill to be kind of settled in after a while, which was good. Except for the last goal that the Sabres scored. The third one again was something you would want back. But Nick Robertson, I never doubted you. I never doubted you. And that third line played with some purpose tonight. That was finally a really good game from Max Domi as well. McMann was playing really well. They played with some purpose, right? And I think if they were to keep that third line together, it might look pretty good in the future. Like Robertson looked really, really good tonight, doing all the things that they need him to do. So if you can do that consistently, same with Domi, then there shouldn't really be a problem in theory. It's just that they haven't done it to this point. So
damn, Mark.
it was
crazy.
It was an interesting. I see nothing wrong with it.
I like it. I like my hair. I like my hair.
No, I thought it was a great performance from them. Obviously, we'll break down the nitty gritty of it, but I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed that game. I thought they did a lot of good things, and obviously they wanted to build off of not build off of, but correct a lot of the mistakes from last night, like getting pucks through and stuff like that. They did that tonight, and I don't care if the Sabres lost 9 in a row coming into this game. Doesn't matter to me. They're looking for a win. They're hungry, right? So you got to play your best. And they didn't really do that for parts of this game, but a lot of guys looked really good. And John Tavares,
yeah,
fantastic,
huge win ultimately. And we can dive into the box score early here because there's a lot to go over. Obviously, we saw Max Domi get on the board. Matthew Nyes, Mitch Marner, and Austin Matthews. You look at the top line, they didn't score. So. And there's a lot of empty net chances. There were a lot of chances where they almost scored. Nick with the victory super chat. Nick, thank you so much for the 279. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for that. As Jim comes in right after with 5 gifted memberships. The vibes are back. The vibes are very back, Jim. Welcome back as well. Johnny, Robert, Mike, Tamu, and Francis. If you are in here, make sure to type an emote or thank Jim in the chat. Jim, thank you. And Nick as well. Thank you for the 279. Much appreciated. You're not Mark. Hey, to each their own. To each their own. Maybe some people don't like the haircut. I'll take constructive criticism. But Max Domi with a goal and an assist, a phenomenal game from him. Bobby McMann, 2 assists, great game. William Nylander, solid game as well. And I'm very curious to see the impact score chart because Nick Robertson finally had a good game. And of course, I didn't even mention him in the intro. John Tavares with the hat trick. Really, there was as Shane comes in with another 5 members. We're getting close to our next set of emotes. Melanie, a boy, Kyla, Budick, and Reliable. Thank you so much, Shane, for the 5 gift memberships. We're getting very close to our goal of, I don't remember the exact number, but we're getting close to our next unlock here, but things are going crazy. But Darius, Nick Robertson, he finally had a good goal. Thank you again, Shane, Jim, and Nick. John Tavares with a hat trick as well. Like, a lot of things going on.
Yeah, can we get a couple of hat emojis maybe in the chat for John Tavares? That'd be fun. Because again, he's been playing great so far this season. And I keep saying so far. It's not early anymore. We're in the season here, so he's been playing fantastic.
Thank you, Mark. Even though you don't like my hair, thank you for the. At least you like the channel. At least we got one thing going. At least we have one thing going for us.
That's right. No, John Tavares has been fantastic, and then again tonight, he could have had 4. Honestly, he made that great move at the end there too, and Levi played fantastic. He had a lot of rest. He's been playing really well in the AHL, and he played in Belleville last night, so he was in the area. So obviously well rested. The Buffalo Sabres played last night as well, but. Honestly, like a lot of people, and I just saw it in the chat too, will say like you barely beat a bad team at home. I don't really see it that way. Like the Leafs played last night. They had a poor performance last night. They could have, felt bad about it and felt sorry for themselves, and they didn't. They came out and did some really good things. And Hildeby was bad at the beginning of the game, and you have to overcome that, right? Your goaltender is not playing well. How do you bounce back? How do you settle the game down? And I thought they did a pretty good job of that. And I thought the third line provided something for the first time
Let's
this
get some
season.
RoboCop
So
emotes in there as well. What a
yeah,
great
let's
game.
get that. I honestly, I thought that is quite clever, that emoji there. So
Shout
let's
out
get
to
some
Darius. We'll give him a
RoboCop in
shout.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ultimately, they're playing a ton of games this month. They're clearly tired. They've been dealing with a bunch of injuries. Players have had to play more than expected. And this is obviously John Tavares' month. It's been John Tavares' season here. 3 goals, 6 shots on net, absolutely dominant. One of the nastiest moves. He completely ran the clock to his early Toronto, even his New York Islanders days with some of the moves he was putting on. And then Mitch Marner had a great move as well. Everybody did. They couldn't finish to save the life of them after the moves. But perhaps your living chef. I mean, you could also do that. What do you guys think of Matthews, Nylander, and Marner? I'll get into that in a minute as well because that was something interesting that we saw. There was a lot of moving pieces here, and ultimately a huge win for this team. This is the games that, again, is it a great team in the Buffalo Sabres? No, but you're playing your third string goaltender, and again, Hildeby's still young. He has work to do in the minor leagues. I still don't think he's quite ready for the NHL, but they didn't really have a
Yep.
better option. Maybe a Tiamov. I think they're really being careful with how they develop him because they want him to play well, but I mean, you come out and you go down early. Dennis Hildeby looks shaky, and you manage to bounce back and win the game for your young goalie and for the standings after losing it. I covered it in my live stream on Saturday, which was literally yesterday. A horrific game by almost every single player on the Leafs. They come back in the second night of a back-to-back. They did exactly what they had to do. And again, we actually have the lines for you all because they are interesting. Also, hit the like button if you are happy about the Toronto Maple Leafs winning this game. And again, thank you guys for your members. Hopefully, if you're a new member, you enjoyed the emails. But Darius, we saw Nyes, Matthews, Marner, Patrick, Tavares, Nylander, McMann, Domi, Robertson, Lawrence, Dewars, and Reeves. So this obviously came out after we recorded our video this morning. A bunch of moves here. They scratched Fraser Minton, Pontus Holmberg. They did a lot of things. Connor Timmins. And I think a lot of it is because of an early back-to-back. Like they even played earlier, a couple hours earlier than usual, but they shined in masterclass by Craig Berube today, I guess.
Well, a lot of the scratches, the way I saw it, like when we saw it just before the game, I think it was around 4 o'clock. It was announced he was scratched and he was playing tonight. I looked at it and I was like, Holmberg, bad last night. Like, I think Craig Berube is very direct. Like, he's not tiptoeing around anything. Holmberg, you were bad last night. You're not playing tonight. Timmins, you were bad last night. You're not playing tonight. Minton, you didn't make a difference last night. You're not playing tonight. We're going to give some of the other guys an opportunity. I think some of it had to do with it, obviously, being a back-to-back and the fact that it was a 5 o'clock start, so it's less than 24 hours or whatever, what have you. But some of these guys responded very well, like Robertson, for example. And these lines didn't stay completely the way they were. Obviously, they were juggling a little bit. And Nylander went up onto the first line. And honestly, I thought it was pretty cool. I just thought it was like a hero line, like in the old video games I used to throw out with all the star players on it at one time. But I thought it was cool. But in the third period, they were never really in the defensive zone and they were moving the puck out quick. So I thought it was all right. I don't think that's something you do long term, but for tonight, it worked. And sometimes you got to get creative with it. And Hildeby wasn't great early on, and they dug themselves out of that hole and calmed the game down. I kind of like that. I'm not going to lie. And obviously, they were riding momentum there in the second period, and they got a couple goals in a row in 2 minutes. So it was good. But they had every reason to feel bad about themselves. This is the thing I'm trying to take out of this game. Coming into this game, you're down 2-0 early. The story coming to the game is the Sabres have lost 9 in a row. Their power play sucks, and a couple guys haven't scored in a ton of games. The guy who hasn't scored in a ton of games scores on the power play, and it looks like the Sabres are going to win, right? Like you can collapse at that moment, and they didn't. So that's what I'm taking from this game. I'm also going to take that the third line played well because they haven't, whoever's been on it has not been playing well all season. And I think if Nick Robertson can play the way he played tonight more consistently, he may not be moved out as soon as we think.
Yeah, I think he's earned himself at the very least another start.
Another game.
Which I believe when is that? Tuesday, I believe it is. So whenever it is, whenever the next game
Wednesday
is,
against Dallas.
So Wednesday, he'll probably factor into the lineup now, and hopefully Anthony Stolarz gets back healthy and he's good for that game. Shane's saying, basically about the slow, or Jim, Leafs are developing a bad habit of starting slow. To quote Babcock, we need to start on time. Yeah, I mean, it was a really bad slow start tonight. I give him a little bit of leeway because it was second night of back-to-back, but also they started pretty slow yesterday and looked really bad in the game against the Red Wings yesterday as well. So, like, Marner was the only really shining light in the game yesterday. It's intriguing. I'm happy. I'm very happy. It's one of the more exciting games we've seen in a while. I mean, we think about the amount of goals. Again, I looked away from my monitor for about 2 minutes, and they instantly scored 2 goals, and I was like, "Whoa, that's." Luckily, I was able to catch them, but I don't know. Like the team, like you mentioned, we speak about off camera. They have this knack of just never being out of the game. We even saw it yesterday in a game where they clearly didn't have it. They almost came back and they gave
Yeah.
themselves an opportunity to be in the game, which is something you can ask for. And that's the Craig Berube effect, I think, at this point. And I don't know, they're never out of it. And they were down 3-1. You're thinking, this might be a bit of a tough one with Dennis Hildeby looking a little bit shaky. And they just come out and they completely pick up their goaltender and Dennis Hildeby. Shout out to the 147 in here. Of course, it's a hit the like button as well. If you're new, hit the subscribe button daily these videos. Let's try to get to 50 likes. If you're happy about the Leafs win, if you think that they should separate Marner and Matthews, hit the like button as well, because I think that's something that I still want them to do, even though I don't think they had a bad game. I'm curious to see what the impact score chart says if it gets out. I think hopefully it will, because with the earlier
It's not
game,
looking likely, but I
okay,
keep checking. I'll
got
keep
out for me
checking.
yesterday, and it was we're looking pretty bad, but
It was tough.
I'm happy, and I want to ask your thoughts on Connor Timmins being scratched. And I honestly think it's probably just rest, if we're being completely honest, because he's been one of the Leafs' best, not even just defensemen. I think he's been one of the Leafs' best players this season, day in and day out. I think he factors back in Wednesday. I don't think Philip Myers looked horrible, but I think Connor Timmins is good. And I mean, I would just rather Timmins every game.
Bill Myers has 2 modes to me: shoot from the point, no matter if somebody's open or not, and scramble back because you're out of position. Those are the 2 modes that he's in. And I don't know, he's looked okay at times, but like I think
Played
that they're going to
17
need Connor.
minutes.
He played a ton tonight, and they're going to need him, Connor Timmins, back in the lineup. I think he probably will factor in again on Wednesday. I think it was a combination of 2 things, like you alluded to. I think it was rest, because it's a back-to-back, of course, and a couple of these guys haven't played, like Robertson, let's say, for example, and Philip Myers hasn't played in a bit as well. So I think it was a combination of rest, and at the same time, Timmins didn't look great last night. So maybe it's a bit of a message like, hey, let's get going here. We saw what happened when Benoit got scratched earlier this season. He came back and he hasn't really looked back. So I think that it could be a bit of a message being sent. It could be rest, a couple things here, but nonetheless, I thought that they bounced back tonight and they looked pretty good. Pacioretty, 5 hits tonight. He's been playing really, really well since he came back as well. He's adding a different dynamic to the team. So love that.
Shane saying Timmins starting to look like the old Timmins the last few games, which is not a compliment.
Maybe needed some
I've
rest.
seen tendencies for sure, but I still think he's been. I mean, if you look at the impact score chart,
good.
again, it's not a be-all, end-all thing. He's been very good almost every single game. As Budnick is thanking Shane for the gift of memberships. Yeah, welcome, Budnick. I think I'm pronouncing that right. We're getting more emotes coming for you. So again, as we approach again 200 memberships, you get a bunch more as well and things like that. Not impressed with OEL. He had guys open a few times and shot in the goalie's chest instead. Interesting. He had 5 shots on goal. He had an assist. I just like the aggressiveness in general from OEL as Robert comes in with a big donation, a 20. It always happens in bunches, I think.
Back to back.
I think it always happens in bunches. Okay, we're going to start with Robert. Jim, I will get to yours. Thank you again. Robert with the 20 saying, I thought the boys came out really slow. I could understand what Buffalo played last night too. Different team in the rest of the game. Slowed it down, took control. Hildeby, what are you doing? Oh my God, he's trying to score. Yeah. So Dennis Hildeby, pretty funny there. He looked pretty shaky, but he ended up finishing fairly well. They came out horribly slow. Both teams are on the second night of a back-to-back. No real excuse for it. Leafs came back and win. Thank you again, Robert. I'll get back. We'll elaborate on that more in a minute. But we have Jim with 10. Nick Robertson, my personal whipping boy, played a solid 2-way game and deserves as much praise as I have given him heat. Also, like Marner standing up for himself. I've liked Marner. Yeah, I liked it as well.
Yeah.
We've seen a bit of a chip on everybody's shoulders. And yeah, I've been a huge Nick Robertson hater. Okay, hold on. I've been a huge Nick Robertson hater. Best game of the season for him. Really good game. He needs it. At the very least, just drive your value up so we get a 2nd-round pick out of it instead of a 4th-round pick if you're going to play well. I wouldn't mind that. Or keep him if he's going to be like that. It's Duster Buster. Shout out to you, Duster. $27.99 with no message. So, Duster, shoot in the chat if you have a message. You've been supporting us a ton. You've been supporting over on Jay's Digest as well a lot. So, Duster, thank you so much for the donations and your continued support. It means the world. And let me know a message in the chat if you have one. Thank you again, Duster and Jim, and of course Robert. Yeah, I got to give Nick Robertson credit where it's due, and I agree, Robert. The boys came out slow and very lackadaisical. I would use that word tonight.
That's been a problem. That was That's been a problem for years. And then we saw it kind of slowly go away earlier this season. And the last couple of games, it's been a problem again. So they have to address that, I think, in their next game because they're letting teams run away with the first 10 minutes every single time. Up until the first TV timeout, every single game, the last, I don't know, handful of games, it's been that way. So they got to get that under control. Hillaby almost scoring was hilarious, by the way.
Yep.
Can't believe that almost happened. And
Thank you, Duster.
Robertson, if he plays this way, keep him on the team, right? This is what we're asking for. This game that he played tonight, right? If you can do that consistently, keep him on the team because he has use. He got an assist. He scored. He's throwing the body around. He's mixing it up. You have use if you're doing these things, especially on the third line. So I would keep him around if he continues to do this. We have to see him do that, right? So I'm excited for Wednesday. He's playing his brother in Dallas, so should be an exciting game for that one. But yeah, third line was good tonight.
That's a good point.
They'll
They'll play him then with Jason.
I think he's earned another game.
Yeah.
Like, never mind everything else. He should play next game because he played really well tonight. Like, there's no reason to scratch him based on the past after tonight. Let's see if you can do it again. Right?
Or trade Nick Robertson for Frank Vetrano. I mean,
Josh.
one day, Josh, if we ever get Frank Vetrano, I'll give you a personal shout out in the stream or a video. Probably the video that the trade goes down.
He's been linked to the Leafs and the New York Rangers. Like, those are the only two teams I've kind of heard around him. So
you can now keep the jersey up, Darius. You can keep the jersey up because he scored a goal. I know you kind of had it up anyway, even though, again, I mean, both my jerseys have aged pretty well. I mean, the Nylander's the new one, but he looked okay tonight. It's been a little bit not as good lately, but we'll
hasn't been scoring, but I think he's like driving play. Like he's doing his thing and he's garnering more attention from other teams. So I feel like he hasn't been bad. He hasn't been like egregious or anything like that. He's just kind of been there.
Also, I want to mention
you need him to be more,
someone who hasn't been mentioned tonight, who had a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can guess who it is that I'm thinking we haven't mentioned yet.
Oh man, is it a forward or a defenseman? It's a forward.
I'm gonna see if the chat can guess too. Someone I'm thinking about who had a pretty solid, underrated game. I don't even know if it's underrated, but I think I like the way he played, and I want to see if the chat can guess it. But Darius, I'll let you think about it.
I have no idea.
See if you can read my mind. You can look at the box score. He had a point at least.
Is it Mitch Marner?
Close. Not really close.
I can't really see the box score.
It is Mr. McMann, Bobby McMann. He had two assists tonight. He had only 2 shots on goal, but him coming back from injury, he's looked very good. Jordan got it. Jordan was the one who got it. Bobby McMann, like, he looked, okay, a couple people getting it now. He looked nice. He looked good. I don't know. 2 assists, and we're not talking about a ton because how many goals were scored. I thought he looked great. Yeah. Okay. People are starting to get it now. Lawrence is also an on. Okay. We're good. It wasn't just me. I'm happy.
No, you're right. And he was creating turnovers. He was in on the forecheck. It wasn't just like
plus
putting up the
3,
numbers.
by the way. A team leading plus 3.
He was great. He was fantastic. That whole line, like, I don't know if you could talk about each individual player without talking about the entire line. They were all really good tonight. But McMann created the first goal. He, forced the turnover, put it back in. He was taking shots towards the net. That's the thing, like, I want to see the Leafs do more of because I feel like they're very passive until they have the perfect shot. McMahon's just like, screw it, like, I don't care where I am. I'm just throwing it to the net. He did that and it creates that first goal for Domi. He's in on the forecheck. These things, like, he was a really good player. I'm glad you brought him up. I hadn't mentioned him yet, but I was like, the third line. And obviously there's a lot of focus on Robertson because of what he should be doing and hasn't done so far this season. But no, I keep refreshing for the impact chart. I really want to see it for this game because I'm very curious. So I don't know. He had a very good game. I thought he was creating a ton. He was moving his feet. He was playing physical.
I hope so, Jim.
It was a really, really good game for him. So fantastic. And then one thing I want to mention too is looking at the defense pairings. Go back there for a second.
That's horrible.
I know, right? But looking at the defense pairings, I have a feeling like Timmins might be kind of in and out. Like when Hakanpää comes back, I feel like they want to run Riley, Hakanpää, McCabe, Tanev, and then they want to do OEL on the third line with like either Benoit or Timmins. I feel like they're just kind of waiting for Hakanpää to come back. That dynamic might work because right now OEL playing up with Riley, I don't know if that's a good mix. Like OEL looked good earlier in the season. Now with Riley, there's moments where I'm like, I don't know if that's the pairing for you, buddy, but that's a later problem. I think that they'll play with that when we get there.
Yeah, and agreed about McMann. Do you want to check the impact score chart? I'm trying to look as well.
Oh, I've refreshed it.
Man.
I think I've been refreshing it every 30
seconds,
them too. To be honest.
It came out almost instantly last time. I think, to Shane, alluding to your point here, having the team has just played, and I'm very curious. I don't know if anyone has this information available if someone wants to go find it.
Mhm.
Their record this season with Bobby McMann versus without Bobby McMann. Because I feel like in most games Bobby McMann has played, he's been very good. I'm gonna look and see if I can find it on like Hockey Muse or something like that.
Well, I remember that Oilers game was fantastic, and I feel like he came back from injury or something in that game. I can't really remember, but
Check
he's
it.
been really good when he's in the lineup,
So,
and the team has been really
so
good.
funny enough,
Yeah,
all time they're 54, 27, and 8, which is
with McMann.
insane with Bobby McMann. Now, this season, see if we can guess. I have it here. I'm just full of stats today. I'm giving you guys some new stuff here. All right. See if without checking, because I know some people are checking. Shane, if you checked, or Jim, don't put it in the chat yet. I just checked. I got to use that more often. Shout out to StatMuse. Anyways, this season, Darius, try to guess what the record is with Bobby McMann in the lineup, and it's a hint. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, well, I figured, but this is interesting because he's missed some time. I feel like he was hurt earlier
I will
in the
tell you
season.
the amount of games.
Okay,
It is 23. 23 games.
23.
So 23 games, and it's a good record. It is a good record. So it's interesting.
I want to say like 14 wins with him.
Okay. Can you give me the whole record to
14, what would it be? 23 games?
now there can be overtime losses. That's a hint.
Right. I'll go with one overtime loss. Whatever that
So
would work
14,
out
8,
to.
and 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Haven't
'Cause I
checked.
think
Gonna
it's
say
two
700
overtime
win
losses.
percentage. The Toronto Maple Leafs this season with Bobby McMahon are 14, 7, and 2.
That's pretty good.
14, 7, and 2 with Bobby McMahon this season. And it makes sense. It kind of passes the initial eye test here of the Leafs are way better. Now, I don't know if that includes. It does. That includes their win just then. And obviously their loss yesterday. So, I mean, I'm looking at it here now. Like, they're just better with him in the lineup. And he didn't even start.
Jim
the
might have
season in
nailed
the
it, by
lineup.
the way. Jim might have nailed it because I think we're on a bit of a delay.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Jim
he nailed it in the chat.
Jim,
But,
you nailed it. 14, 7, and 3. Was my math wrong? It was 21, right?
No, you said 23.
Or 23.
Yeah.
Either way, he didn't play
yeah,
opening
what was your
night.
point?
I don't remember the reason for that.
He was injured.
Okay,
he was
cool.
injured.
I
Yeah.
don't know if
He was
stretch.
injured. He missed some time. He came back. He got injured again recently, and now he's back again. So,
So huge shout out to Bobby
Yeah,
McMahon. I just turned this into a little Bobby McMahon praise thing, but he's been so good. It's been almost unbelievable.
yeah, no, when he's in the lineup, he makes a difference for the most part, I think. So,
Robert with
get
the
back to
10. Robert, your support. Thank you so much. I'm gonna let this play. Thank you again, Robert, for the donation. You guys you're killing it today. It's like this team keeps falling into puck control and perimeter play. Instead of shooting once they start shooting, the puck goes in more often than not, but don't keep it up. Yeah, we saw a huge string of goals. Darius, get your thoughts on this. I feel like you're itching to say something there.
yeah, so Robert says, I feel like this team keeps falling into puck control and perimeter play. I don't think the word is team. I think you're looking for 3 players' names. And I think it's Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and William Nylander. And whoever they pass to on whenever they're on the ice. Could be OEL, could be Morgan Riley, whoever it is. I feel like it's 3 guys. It's 3 guys doing that because you don't see that from the other lines. Pacioretty, north-south, right? And going to the net, stuff like that. So I feel like it's 3 guys doing that, to be honest. And whoever they pass to and put in bad positions at times.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just looking at some of the stats here. They're 5-3-0 without Bobby McMahon. I feel like he's missed more time.
Still pretty good. It's not bad.
And that was without Austin Matthews a lot of the time as well. Thank you again, Robert, for the 10. Your support's been thank you very much. Thank you. And you guys kind of nailed it. Yeah, Jim, you nailed it. I mean, Darius, you also got 14. Rye also got 14. So I guess you guys I guess that's just the number. We know. I mean, I don't know if I would have guessed that. I think I was going to guess like 13 wins in 23 games, something like that. But
well, my thought process there, honestly, you were like 23. So I'm like, okay, it's got to be positive for us to be bringing this up. So it's got to be more than like 13. So
McMahon's play should surprise none of us as he was killing it last year and bearing injury has a solid upward trajectory. And let's remember, something that didn't get talked enough about, I don't think, at the time of the playoffs last year was him being out of the because you had the William Nylander concussion thing. You had obviously at the end of it, Joseph Wall getting injured, but Bobby McMahon, they were missing a huge huge piece in him. And you know what they were also missing? A competent decor, because they added Ilya Lyubushkin and Joel Edmondson was okay at the deadline. Thinking back to that now and comparing the two decors is kind of crazy. Even adding a guy like Steven Lorentz in the offseason has made this team way better. And he has been a guy who has played almost every single game for them and has been great.
No, he's been great as well. And he plays his role really well. They just go on the ice and nothing really happens. It's low event. And I think that's fine because he's eating minutes, and then the top guys can go back out there and you can score goals. I think it's fantastic. So no, he's been really good. And that's another piece that, like, Treliving again this offseason, like, he's added a couple. He didn't make any huge moves, right? Like, the core is still the same, but he added these little placeholders, not placeholders, but I don't know if some of these guys will stick around, but like Lorentz, for example. But he added a few guys to fill in these holes, and he might. And it's worked out. Like, even OEL, big fan of that signing. I just think they got to figure out the D pairings, and obviously Tanev, right? Like, he's done a really good job. Like, the D pair, I was thinking about this during the game. It's funny that you bring it up. Think about the defense pairings or the defense core that went into that series against Boston and what we have right now. It's crazy. Like, not even close. And forget the Boston series. Like, forget the trade deadline, before the trade deadline, like, who they had on defense. Unbelievable. Treliving really, in 1 year, like, he's really done a good job, I think. And I just want to see what they do, because it's more of a mental thing. We know
should
this,
spam
right? Like,
the chef Treliving emotes because of his ability to just be that guy. I think Steven Lorentz might.
Something up.
I mean, he might stick around.
He's
Someone asked for a Jays update. I got nothing for you, Mr. Snow, at the moment. No Burns update. Though if a Burns update happens, I'll be the first one of the first ones, probably the first one on it. Darius, Rangers getting buckled by St. Louis. I really thought they would be dominant. Yeah, I
mean, the Rangers are that team stinks right now. I think it's crazy. They didn't have too much roster turnover, and for some reason, it's a mental thing. Absolutely a mental thing, and they got to get over it. And I feel like maybe they're trying to get the coach fired. I don't think that's going to happen, though, because you can't go through 3 coaches in 5 years and expect another one to get fired. So,
is Toronto going to beat Dallas? That's a great question. I think Nick, probably tomorrow. We'll probably have one tomorrow. I hope so. I hope they beat Dallas. I feel like they need. If they would have lost this game, the vibes would have been at an all-time. Honestly, you can make an argument season low if they lost. I mean, we were talking about going 3-0. They did it though. They beat the Dallas Stars, or they will beat the Dallas Stars. I think they obviously beat the Buffalo Sabres, and I'm happy that, or you probably were happy that you missed the one yesterday, because that game was an absolute abomination of a game against the Detroit Red Wings there. But I don't know.
Sometimes it's good to, like, I don't know. I had a lot to say, honestly. Like, the vibes are very high, so I don't want to backtrack to yesterday. But from what I saw of the game, I would have enjoyed, giving it to them, because I was like, that was unacceptable. But we're back. We're back. They won, so it's good. And I like they're gonna win more times than not this season. So, you got to take those games sometimes.
Yeah, there's gonna be losses. There's gonna be late Saturday night stream losses, like where Jim is busy, and I needed. Depends what Toronto team shows up. I mean, hopefully it's the team from the second period onwards of tonight's game, because that's what they need. I hope the Leafs will play the Bruins. I honestly would like that too. A rematch it, Bruins versus Leafs.
No,
I would like it.
I want something else.
Revenge.
Not just because like there is a part of me that wants them to play them again and finally beat them, because I feel like you need to get over that. But I also think at the Raptors sometimes, and it was like, you keep losing to LeBron, and LeBron leaves and you finally win, right? So it's just get out of my face, give me another opponent.
Sure.
But again, it's not just for that reason. It's just like the playoffs. At times I feel like it's the same teams playing each other all the time, and I'd rather just see something new at times. So the rivalries are good, but sometimes I just want to see something new. So, like when the Leafs finally played Tampa one year, it was refreshing.
You're saying it's Jim's fault we lost? No. Yes. Yeah, Jim. It actually was. Yeah. It's Jim's fault. What's up, Chuck Fleet? Hope you're doing well. I mean, what a good vibe game. So, I mean, that second period, I think it was the second when they scored all those goals, right? I was half I was half surprised that they scored that many goals in a row, but the vibes are great right now. And I think that they have 2 days off now. It didn't seem like you didn't miss too much, Jim, to be completely honest. You missed Mitch Marner played good. Everyone else.
Marner had a good game. Everyone else, and Joseph Woll. Joseph Woll had a good game. The defense kind of fell apart on it.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be an easy series either. They've been good under their new head coach there. And to be fair, they've been better. And to be fair, St. Louis has been great under Jim Montgomery. So I mean, maybe it worked out for both sides. Want to get into our 3 stars here, Darius? I think we could.
Yeah, 100%.
The glasses
I
out.
think we all know who the first star is tonight.
I've been thinking
but
about it, and I think our 3 stars are going to be quite different. I do think the first star is obviously going to be John Tavares for both of us, but we can save it till the end. I've been thinking about this pretty hard. I'll let you. You can make an argument for you putting Robo as first star, for being honest, but we'll go ahead and I'll let you rock it here.
So I thought about this, and I wanted to give it to a defenseman. I thought, but I thought about it like as the game was ending, and I was like, you know what? I don't know if they had that good enough of a game. So somebody we just brought up recently that I'm gonna give my third star is Max Domi, and he's been tough to watch this season, honestly. And I bought the jersey, and ever since I bought the jersey, he stopped scoring, and then he got hurt. Now he's back. He looked good tonight. Got his first goal of the season. You could see the passion. It's in the thumbnail, and I loved everything about it. And he was just working really hard tonight, and everyone was clicking together on that third line. So he's going to be my third star tonight.
Shout out to you guys reading to 52 likes as well. I'm going with, excuse me. Hold on. I think I gotta make sure I had these lined up. Nick Robertson is my third star of the night. There it is. For all the reasons you said, just translate it to Nick Robertson. Phenomenal game. He could be your first star, second star. Very good game from him. Used his body as well there. Had a few hits tonight. How many? I think he had, 4? I think I counted 3 at least. Yeah, he had 4 hits, which is absolutely absurd. Something you never, that's a Nikita Grabenkin stat line. Something you never see from Nick Robertson. And Ryan Reeves even had 5 hits. But yeah, I'm going to give it to Robo there. And I assume now you're going to go Robo then Tavares.
Yeah, so my second star is going to be Nick Robertson, but it's not just because he put up a couple points tonight and obviously he scored and everything that's all fantastic, right? But I thought for the first time tonight, and I was really looking to see if this was going to happen, it didn't look like he was fighting it. Like he let the game come to him at times, but he was still being physical and being engaged and obviously getting shots and all that. So I thought that was good because this whole season, it's just he's been trying so hard. And sometimes when you're fighting it like that, it's not going to happen for you. So I feel like at times he was letting the game kind of come to him. He was being physical where he needed to be, standing up for himself, stuff like that. Obviously got 2 points. So second star for sure. He was great tonight. Like fantastic.
Max Domi is my second star with John Tavares being my first star. I mean, all the same. Great game for Max Domi. Finally figured it out. Was actually shooting the puck a little bit. He only shot 2 shots, but he just looked more confident out there. And so did Nick Robertson. He had his best game of the year. The announcers are saying it was the best game of the year for him. Obviously, I mean, he had a goal and an assist. He's like doubled his point count almost in one game here. So and then John Tavares. I mean, we kind of spoke about it at the top here of the stream. Hat trick. One of them was an empty net. That doesn't matter. If you didn't watch the game, you didn't even see it anyway. He got a hat trick and phenomenal game.
And he should have had 4.
Yep.
Like he could have had the hat trick on with that great move at the end too. Anyway, so he could have had 4. He was fantastic. So
very, very good.
He was great.
Will Cowan be on the roster next year? Maybe. Possible.
And depends on the cap.
There was questions out of me.
He can be in the AHL. He can be in the AHL. So I feel like Cowan will probably be with the Marlies next year.
We're on the same wavelength, Jim. We're on the same wavelength here. I think we have the same 3 stars. Tavares, McMann. Nice. Honorable mention to Bobby McMann. I had a whole spiel about him. So, I mean, very good. As Robert comes in with another. Robert, thank you so much with the 10. Ignore the chat. You can't even see Darius anymore. This is kind of funny. Darius has disappeared. But he said, not Leaf related. Welcome back. But Joe Malone scored 7 goals in one game, still a record, and 1 6-goal, 2 5-goal games, all in first 3 year of NHL existence. Robert coming in with the fact.
Existence.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna do some digging here for this one. Now I'm interested.
Meep, when are you posting on Jay's Digest? Tomorrow, I think.
Oh my goodness! I typed in Joe Malone. This is a crazy.
Maybe tonight.
Joe Malone.
Maybe tonight.
NHL on Google. Sorry to cut you off, but Joe Malone on Google, and I wasn't expecting these headshots. Unbelievable! I think he did play when the NHL first.
Old.
He was born in 1890, so I do believe he was playing the NHL when it first started. Yeah.
Maybe you'll see a ton of Jay's stuff tomorrow. Probably 2 videos in the stream as well if you're interested there. There hasn't been much news tonight, so I'm gonna take it We're at 54 likes. We can get to 60 for. Let's try to get to 60 likes for Jim. Jim, you said 60 from the top. If you're watching this right now, just have a quick look. It takes 2 seconds to hit the like button, and it's free, of course. Or if you're new, you can hit the subscribe button as well. But either way, the support in this one has been crazy. 10 new members, a lot of super chats. It's the vibes are high when the Leafs win. Oh, that's a good question. Any dates set for the live stream of a game this holiday season? Duster, it has been set. It has been set. I think
we mentioned this last stream.
It was towards
we
the
are
stream before last because
we're targeting the Winnipeg Jets game. I believe it's already next Monday at this point, the 23rd.
It is a week from tomorrow. We will be live for a watch along stream in the middle of the day because
it's a 2:00 start. I think so. It's an afternoon game.
So 2:00 start. If you're at work, I guess most people are probably going to be off work by then, depending obviously because it's the 23rd. But either way, maybe you are at work, depending. Whatever your schedule is, you can tune in via your phone if you're at work. Not that I promote that. Jim with the 5 gifted again. Turbo, Smork, Jeff, GL, and Damian Russell. Everyone thank Jim in the chat. Thank you so much, Jim. Jim, we're going to check after the stream. I think Garrett's probably close to another new goal here, which is going to be good to unlock some new emotes. I don't know the exact number. I'll get it to you for next stream. What time is it? Meep. I don't know. Probably like 5:36-ish is my guess. Depends though. It depends. Depends if stuff. It depends if stuff happens. But Jim, thank you so much. And
thank you, Jim.
We're gonna look for new emotes. There's a ton of different ones we're coming. But next week we'll do a watch along. Boy, is that gonna be a long stream, but we're excited for it. We're Winnipeg Jets. I mean, it's a very good team. It's a Canadian team. I don't know, Darius.
And I thought so. The reason I picked that game is because I thought it was an Amazon game, and it was 2 p.m.
It's not an Amazon.
So I was like, it's not. It's on TSN, but I thought it was. So I was like, most people might not be able to watch it. So I was like, let's do a watch along. We can all kind of.
When is the next Amazon game? Can you check that?
Yep.
Or someone can check that because I also want to go live for the next Amazon game for during the game. I think. Would you guys also prefer us go live during the Amazon games? Type yes or no. I feel like especially me, if you can't watch the game, at least watching a live stream of the game. Again, we won't be able to actually show you the game footage, but we'll be able to.
It is January. Sorry to cut you off. January 20th against the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I can do that. We can do that. What time? A nighttime game. We can do that. January 20th. So we'll also be live January 20th for the Amazon game. At least I will be. I'm hoping Darius can make it because if not, we'll have to have some great conversations with the chat for 3 hours, which is always good. I'm down to do that anyways, but we'll be live the 20th. Yeah, people want to see it, especially for the Amazon games. And for, of course, I think the vibes on the 23rd. And remember. Go ahead. I'm just kidding.
Turbo, I know it's not Leafs related, but Turbo brought up, do you guys think that Ottawa is going to go on a serious run because they've won 3 games in a row?
Absolutely not.
No. No.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ottawa's finding out this year that goaltending was not your problem. Anyway,
I don't know if this is I don't know if this is going to work fully because I still have some things to do, but a little sneak peek for the December 23rd stream. I do this for Christmas.
That's so festive, Nick.
We'll have there's going to be some festivities for the Christmas stream. Boom.
There we go.
Looks pretty good. And I'll get better ones too, but some festivity. I mean, we could keep this up for some of the stream now anyways. We're almost at Christmas regardless.
It is crazy. Christmas is next week, which that's pretty crazy.
Christmas lights. We'll have some Christmas festivities and honestly, for the watch along on Monday, the one a week from tomorrow, that is, we'll probably have some segments and things like that we'll have planned out to make it a bit more interactive for you all because it'll be fun.
Yep. No, it'll be fun, and Christmas is around the corner, so I'll have some. I'll try and get some decor going on behind.
I need to do that as well. I need to do my Christmas shopping. That's what I need to do. I haven't even.
Yeah, leave it in the chat. Have you finished your Christmas shopping? Because I'll tell you what, I haven't started. So
I only have the only gift. I have one gift, and it's my girlfriend's gift. Other than that, I don't have a single thing. I have my mom's gift as well. That's it.
I'm pretty good normally too. I usually get it done before December starts, which is pretty crazy. But this year did not happen.
And we're a week away now. Well, a week and a half.
Yeah, week and a half. Yeah.
Darius and Nick, what is one thing on your Christmas list? You go ahead, Darius.
Socks. No, I think like a Maple Leafs win or something. I don't know.
I think mine is I don't even probably some lights, some like just basic light. I'm a big lights guy, as you guys can see. You can see here. So I have some more of those. Getting some more stuff like that would be nice.
Yeah.
Haven't
My
started.
my my Christmas gift or my wish list this year, I can't mention. I haven't mentioned it on stream or anything, but something's gonna change in the new year ish. So I got
Mm,
something big planned. I haven't mentioned it at all because I want it to come as a surprise, but that's we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
yes, Jim. Do it. And I'll be able to participate in live. Look at the Jets game. Patch me in for a live chat from the game.
I've actually been working on that, so that could be a possibility. Maybe an intermission
Oh,
chat.
is he saying Colin?
Yes, maybe an intermission chat or something.
You know, we absolutely 100% need Collins for that stream.
Yes.
Shane, that was a perfect opportunity to say the one thing in your Christmas list was for Nick to have Collins. That was your perfect opportunity, but I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to do it for you. You have my guarantee that there is going to be Collins for the watch along, and in between each intermission, we will take a couple of Collins. We will take a couple of Collins. That's actually a great idea. We'll have Collins at the intermissions of the game to keep things going. That's a phenomenal idea. Write that in somewhere, Darius. You have the notepad. Put it in. I need to get those Collins sorted out. You have my guarantee, Shane. And if not, I think I can gift you guys members. So if not, I'll gift you guys 20 members if I don't have Collins set up. How much is 20 members?
You heard it here first.
I think I can gift you guys members. Vladdy contract, I understand. They are slow getting. Hope Brewer figures it out. I think they'll be good. I think we're also 2 likes away from 60, which would be much appreciated. Much appreciated. Shane, we used to do them, but obviously we did it with Peter's like public number, so we're definitely not giving out any public numbers.
Yeah,
so we're doing it extremely anonymously because some of the
also we want to like there's different ways you can do it, but we want to make it easier for people to call in. Like there's ways we can just do it right now, but it would not be very easy for anyone to be able to call in. So we want to make it easy, and so we can have people in and out too. We can get to a bunch of you. So
and try to keep it somewhat moderated. And again,
yeah, as well.
Let's avoid swearing for the most part here on the unless they like have a crazy comeback win. How many goals is Poppy scoring at the end of the season?
I'd be happy with 40 at this point, I think, but I don't even know if it's gonna get there. At the rate he's going at. We're almost in January. I think last year in January he had 35.
Yeah.
So
we had our predictions earlier in the season. I predicted 50 or over under. Remember we had our over under thing. So
I said 80.
Yeah, I mean,
which is looking
80 is absurd though. Anyways, Josh's Christmas wish is Frank Vetrano in blue and white. Get a burner phone for both Leafs and Jays comment section. Shane, some of the texts that we got or Peter got from getting his phone out, I would have to confiscate the burner phone and just throw it away and never see it again. So phones, I don't know about giving that out, but I think we have a way to where you can call into the Zoom. I think is what we're going to do without having to. You just type in a number, you call that number, you automatically get sent in here. Everyone can hear you in the chat. We kick you, you leave, or we'll kick you out if depending on things, and then it's good. And we'll be we'll good. I think that's the best way to do it. And we just gotta honestly shouldn't be too bad. You got my word though, by Monday. Because that's a good idea. By Darius there. Intermission. Poor Peter. Yeah, nothing crazy, just like weird, creepy. I would say creepy is the word. All right.
So we've been working on that.
Yeah, I like these Christmas lights. They're actually kind of nice.
Yeah, it's festive.
If you need a tester, yeah, we'll get you in first, Shane. We'll get you and Jim in first. Wait, so what are you guys doing for the Leafs Jets game on Monday? Watch along stream.
Watch along.
I should have.
So we'll be live during the game. We'll be watching it with everyone, and people can call in during the game.
And we're gonna have Collins for post games as well. It's not just a watch along thing. For post games, we're gonna have Collins. Probably not everyone, if we're being honest. Maybe once a week we'll do Collins just to keep it somewhat novel. Yeah, Jim, you're missing the first watch. You're missing the first watch along because you're watching along in real life. But you can still call into the intermission. I think if you have Zoom on your phone, I think it's how it works. I don't even know if you had to have Zoom on your phone. We're gonna figure it out.
No, 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 no. Everyone would call a number. We'd put a number in the chat or on the screen. You call that number. We'll let you in.
Okay, so there you go.
Chat for a bit and then.
No, no worries,
be on
Jim.
our
I don't
way.
think I said watch along, or if I did, it was only one time. And then we're having another watch along January 20th, the first Amazon Prime game in a month. So that's the schedule for you all. Any final questions or thoughts before I wrap up? Still have 88 in here. Any final? It's almost Christmas time, so we're again, the videos won't stop. Christmas Day video too. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Christmas Eve stream still in play, Darius? Is that still
Up in the air.
Okay.
We'll confirm that closer too.
Okay. I think I'm gonna do one anyways. I usually do one. That's like a thing for me. So maybe Darius will pop in for a few minutes. Family stuff, obviously. It is. It'll probably be later though. Like it'll probably be 8:30 Eastern, like for the Christmas Eve stream. If people are planning ahead regarding that, I think I'm also doing a Jays one, which will be before that. So I'll be doing in there. Check the impact score. I don't think so.
No, I just checked. It's still not out. They're I guess they went.
I will call in. Don't
Sunday
threaten me with
night.
a good time, Jim. You and Shane get top priority. You and Shane and Blake and members, of course, get the priority. But like everyone should be able to get in, depending how long the intermission is. Because 3 intermissions, you have 15. And for post game ones, we'll just have a segment with them. Final thoughts.
The impact score chart.
Good to have supporters keep the hair gel budget healthy. You know, that was the first negative comment I've ever had about my hair. It's usually all people like gassing it up. So it's nice to have change of a different taste, you know? People usually
We'll leave you with a early Christmas gift here. The impact score chart has just come out. So we'll bring that up right before we wrap up here.
Christmas Eve stream, your partner's gonna hate you. Jim, luckily it'll be a later stream. 'Cause again, where I live, it's an hour and a half past Eastern time zone. So like if I go live at 11 my time when everyone's asleep, it's only 9:30 Eastern. So it works out well for me in that regard. But yeah, I'm gonna spend time with her the whole day. Don't worry. I have to. I absolutely have to. You have a good mop? I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Mops usually go down though. If I didn't put my hair up, I definitely have a mop. Try to grab this. Lettuce?
Lettuce. That is the term. Correct.
Scott.
Shane, I haven't been sleeping. Okay, there was 2 streams this week where we didn't get the impact chart. I have not been sleeping properly. We need them ASAP. I'm gonna talk to they do some great work over there, but I gotta talk to him.
We gotta send
He's
him
gotta
a DM.
come out right after the game.
Scott, don't worry. I don't even think he was hating. He said he loves the color. Honestly, people don't have to love my hair. They don't have to love Darius's hair. Doesn't matter as long as they like the content.
That's right.
As long as they like the content. That's what matters most. Okay, where am I looking? You sent it as 4?
Yeah, it's 4.
Here it is.
That was a typo, but here we are.
Bobby McMann, ladies and gentlemen, was the best. And I'm going to give myself a pat on the back here because I was the one who kind of gave him his props, and the props were rightfully assessed.
Mhm.
He was the number 1 player on the ice.
He was the number 1 player on the ice. And I mean, you brought him up tonight. So props to you. He was fantastic. The top 3 guys are the entire third line. So obviously had a great impact on the game. You could see that just by watching the game. John Tavares, obviously, with a great game. Philippe Meyer. Interesting.
Game.
Or Myers. Chris Tanev again. So like the usual suspects kind of halfway there, which is interesting, but great game from those 3 guys. So props to them. And again, the defense was pretty good at times tonight. And I wish we could have, obviously they wouldn't fit the model, but I wish we could have goaltenders included in this.
What's the like record for our streams? There was one at least over 100. I think it may have been 200.
Yeah,
but it was one of our weekly Wednesday ones before the season started. That being said, I have a sneaking suspicion when we do our trade deadline streams as they approach, which will probably be like every other day. At least that's like the plan because things get really crazy around trade deadline. I suspect there's nothing people love more than rumor streams. I've learned that from my time here.
I think we'll be live trade deadline day.
Yeah,
Like we'll have a few probably leading up, and then they'll have some games as well. But like that day, we'll probably
we'll be live
as well.
like we did last year. I think we'll be live through the deadline.
Yeah,
we'll start probably an hour before, and then be live or whenever the most action is, maybe even earlier than that, and be live through the deadline for sure. Yeah. And videos.
Well, the last couple,
well.
like they used to be more exciting, probably like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But like now, I don't know. We'll see this year because there's a lot of contracts up. Teams are getting creative, so we'll see.
Playoffs, yeah, playoffs are going to be absolutely absurd because we're going to be live throughout every single regular season game into the playoffs. And honestly, depending how things go at that point, we might even throw like a watch along in for one of the playoff games or something like that, depending how things are vibing at that point. Obviously, we want to watch them. I mean, depending on what's happening. Who knows? Playoffs are far away. Things could be. You guys could maybe might end up crushing it on the. I think Trade Center with Nick and Darius is exactly what it is. That is just refreshing Twitter. It's what I do on Jays now. You just refresh. And again, hockey used to be a lot more exciting. I think it's going to be. I'm kind of almost hoping the Leafs wait until the deadline day, if there's like a buzzer beater thing. Speaking of which, Darren Dreger, check your. I'm going to send you a message. Just keep this in chamber. He's hinting at some moves here, so something to keep in mind going forward.
I do believe something is coming.
I think something big is brewing. Something huge is brewing. For lack of a
better
word.
I don't think he's been playing well, but the last couple games to me, and this is kind of what I was talking about, Fraser Minten, he's not making enough of an impact. So I feel like they're still gonna do something.
He was invisible yesterday. We kind of came to that conclusion in the chat.
Yeah, and then he didn't play tonight, right? So they'll keep him around, but for a bit. But I'm not sure he'll be here much longer. He'll be with the Marlies, I think.
I would think so as well. New Tim and Sid. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that, the trade deadline. And then, of course, playoffs are going to be electric. But, I mean, we're over now. How many games are we into the season? A lot.
Third. Are we at 30 yet?
So we're a third, almost a third. We are over a third of the way into the season. That's what I'm saying, Jim. Let him score some goals, get his value up, and then sell him. Well, trade him. Sell high.
Get rid of him.
Just get him out.
No. Yeah, they've played 31.
They should sell him, though, or trade him, I guess. Like, when his value is the highest, I think. Unless he goes on some crazy run and you're clearly seeing chemistry. Minton is going back down to the Marlies. I tend to agree, Turbo.
I think Robertson playing one game, I don't think change it. Like one good game
it won't change the value.
Changes trade value, but if he strings together maybe 3 or 4, all right, now we're talking. But I think if he strings together 4-5 games like he played tonight, you don't get rid of him. I think that's the whole point.
Jim saying 32. What did I ask again? I forget what I asked.
Oh, I said 31, but I'm not sure if that counted tonight. Actually.
Oh, 32 games. Sorry.
Yeah, 32 games. Yeah, that's a good show. Yeah.
What are they? 19, 10, and 2.
That sounds right. I had it up in front of me.
Or 19, 11, and 2 now. I don't. Someone check.
19, 10, and 2. You had it. They're also at 40 points, which I think puts them almost like probably top 5 in the league. I'm gonna check that.
North
right
6.
now.
Keep subscribing, and Nick and Darius have a contest. Give a jersey away. New subscribers. Good idea. Something could be coming regarding a giveaway at some point this season for sure. Check.
It's gonna be a Anthony Stolarz jersey.
A Max Pacioretty. How many games did he play? 30?
Max Pacioretty. What, the Leafs?
Yeah.
It says 31 here, and I think this is updated.
Okay, so 31.
I think it's 31.
Let the kids develop. Yeah, I mean,
just want to see where they are in the league.
We all donate $5 to the Leafs win 10 in a row. I would be shocked if the Leafs win 10 games in a row. Though the Winnipeg Jets did it.
Right. They're sixth in the league right now, which I think is great. Top of the Atlantic by 2 points. They just got to keep pace with Florida, I think, at this point. So they've been really good.
They're undefeated in my mind. I erase all
Shane, in my mind, the Leafs have never lost a game ever. So I just forget about the losses.
Shane, I remember you popped in yesterday. I think you literally just said "yo," and that was it. And yesterday, Shane was like, "Yeah, I think you just said yo," and then that was all. I was like, "Yeah, I mean, the game wasn't much to talk about, anyways."
Understandable, you know.
What a cool jersey. If we do a giveaway, we'll definitely have you guys pick the jersey or something of that nature. We do always like to give back. So something will come of that for sure. Something. And a fantasy hockey league next season with a reward for the winner as well. A lot of things. One step at a time. We're almost at we're getting close to 150 members, which is crazy. I mean, the more members, again, there'll be a lot more members only things coming as well, but Darius, it was a great one. It was driving to Bowman.
This was fun.
Thanks for tuning in. Anyways, I shouted you out. Well, I said, "Hey Shane." I said, "Yo Shane." Actually.
No, this was fun. This was a good game. And I kind of like the early games on a Sunday. I don't mind that if they're going to play on a Sunday. This was good. Not having the game end at 10 or 10:30.
Yeah. Past season Leafs have been top 5. I saw that. I heard that as well. This year they're top 5 in goals against, the bottom third in goals for. I think it's a mix of their play style, some of their top guys just not playing as well, and their goaltending being so good that there's a reason their goals against is so low.
I'm going to be honest. I think I prefer it this way.
Yeah.
I think their goals for could be a little higher, but I think I do.
If you get the goals
much
for into
prefer
like
this.
the 10 to 15 range and your goals against is like
Fine.
third in the NHL, you're probably bound pretty good for the playoffs. Because, I mean, play slows down in the playoffs anyway. You're not going to be able, we've seen it. You could have a top offense in the playoffs and then it all just crumbles in the postseason if you have a undisciplined style of play like we saw with Sheldon Keefe. So, I mean, and they have the best goaltending duo in the NHL. Someone asked for an update on Stolarz. I think he's going to be fine.
I think he'll play Friday, actually.
Yeah, like
So
they're going to
the
give him a
thing,
week off.
the thing is, a lot of people were confused about this. They placed him on IR today. The reason they had to do that is because they didn't have a roster spot for Hildeby.
Appreciate it,
Hildeby was
Shane.
called up on emergency, and that only lasts for 48 hours. So they had to either send him down, which they couldn't because who plays tonight and who backs up. Like you can't play Joseph Woll again and then have an emergency backup like E-Bug backing him up. So I think it was like he'll be back. They just had to. It was a formality, I think. Had to put him on the IR to make room for Hildeby to actually play tonight. So he'll be back Friday probably, and then we'll play Wednesday, and that's fine.
Shane,
So,
I appreciate your support, even if you aren't able to participate in the chat. That's I still recognize the Stolarz probably starts Friday. I agree. I think he does,
Yeah.
and I think they win that game. We'll wrap up now in
We can
2
hope.
minutes. We're about to hit an hour. Let's hit the hour and then wrap it up. Hour flew by. I think it's because we're so used to these being at, like, for me, almost 1 a.m. and now it's only past 10. So it's
yeah, it's not even 9 here yet. This is I would
if
would
every
enjoy
game
this
was at
more.
this time, I wouldn't hate it, to be honest. We got
Saturday night games used to be at 8, so for some reason, so earlier the better for me, I think.
honestly,
on a
I
weekday.
prefer
Not on a weekday.
Saturday 8 games because then the games don't end until like 1 a.m. my time, so that I can do everything in my.
Yeah, weekends doesn't matter for most people, I think. But
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, very appreciative of all your guys' support today. Every single person who donated. Remember, 15 new members. We're gonna check the number after this stream. We'll come back to you on Wednesday for it. I mean, everybody, it was a great stream. Vibes are good right now. Energy's high. Christmas is almost upon us. Everybody get their shopping done. I mean, I saw a lot of people in chat saying they haven't even started. Exactly, Shane. Yeah, I mean, it's not feasible, but it's
I
nice.
meant like weekends or something. Like
I like
weekdays,
Sundays.
There's,
If they had
there's no way.
Sundays at 4:30 was the or 4-5. What was the time? What game was it for East Coast tonight? 4:30.
5. Yeah.
5. Yes, Blake, absolutely. I do want JT and Marner together, or at least I want Marner and Matthews separated. I don't really care which way you slice the slice
JT
it
and
up,
Marner
but
is the way to go. Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I agree, Shane. Ladies and gentlemen, phenomenal stream. We'll check out our members after this and see. No last minute. I know Blake is lurking in here. Well, we will see. Oops. I will get rid of the Christmas lights. We will see you all in a video tomorrow. You have that was your, go ahead.
I just want to say, if Blake is waiting, that would be a generational.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be he didn't even
hiding
for an hour
like,
or two.
To wait for an hour and then drop something here at the last minute would be generational. So quite excited to see if he's here.
Ladies and gentlemen,
thank you, everyone.
Have a phenomenal night. Blake the Snake Roberts. And again, like usual, we'll see you all video tomorrow, same time as always. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to find the outro, and we will see you all in the video tomorrow and stream-wise on Wednesday. Have a great night. Enjoy your Christmas shopping. Enjoy the holidays and whatever you're doing. I mean, the holidays starting soon, so it's a good time to be a Leafs fan, and we'll keep you up to date with all the latest news. Make sure to hit the subscribe button as well. We'll see you guys later.
Leafs Digest, your daily dose of gold. Stories of the bold, where legends are told. From first pop drop to the season's full. Tune in and watch the drama